Well, some Democrats and some in the media continue to threaten impeaching President Trump over alleged campaign finance violations.
Michael Cohen's 2 campaign finance felonies were directed by a person named as Individual 1. That person is Donald Trump. That means that Donald Trump also committed 2 felonies.
You have campaigns finance and you have emoluments. And we're beginning to see that it's not just a shoe that's going to drop, it's going to be an anvil.
The House is going to have little choice the way this is going other than to start impeachment proceedings.
Speaking of current events, is the president going to jail? We're trying to figure this out. Is he going to jail? It seems like some serious shit is going down.
My takeaway is there's a very real prospect that on the day Donald Trump leaves office, the Justice Department may indict him, that he may be the first president in quite some time to face the real prospect of jail time.
You're probably not familiar with the name Felix Sater, but he is a longtime business partner of Donald Trump, went in with him on investments for apartment buildings and condos. And this week he said, I know that I am definitely going to prison. But don't feel too bad for Sater, because according to him, he's going to have a friend there. And that friend's name happens to be Donald Trump.
The president has likely committed impeachable offenses, but that he may not be impeached for it. What's he getting at?
Well, I mean, the constitutional standard is high crimes and misdemeanors, and, you know, it differs. Different people have different views of that. But one obvious heartland of it is a felony. And what Trump is being essentially accused of by career prosecutors in the Southern District of New York is a felony.
Came down.
Is this going to become a recurring thing, or is this a one and done?
I don't know. I hope there's a couple where I interrogate him, then I arrest him, and then I escort him to jail.
You mean Trump?
Yeah, who do you think I mean?
Well, I don't know. I'm just...
If it's proven, and I understand it has not yet been, it's been alleged by the prosecutors, but it has not been proven. If it's proven, are those impeachable offenses?
Well, they would be impeachable offenses. Whether they are important enough to justify an impeachment is a different question, but certainly they'd be impeachable offenses because even though they were committed before the president became president, they were committed in the service of fraudulently obtaining the office.
What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
And that's always the case. How difficult is that in a situation with someone who was this close to the president, recorded him surreptitiously, did a list of things to maybe question his truth-telling, even before he said he lied?
I think surprisingly to the public, even in those situations, it is still very difficult to prove in a criminal case that someone knowingly and willfully violated the law. So just because Michael Cohen says that I know that I committed a campaign finance violation and that I did it at the direction of President Trump doesn't mean that President Trump can be proven guilty of anything. Indeed, the president you have already seen has raised the specter of an advice of counsel defense. Listen, this guy was my lawyer. This is what I hired him to do.
Right.
I'm not a lawyer. I don't know campaign finance laws. I expect my lawyer to know that. He told me this was lawful and a way in which
Is that fair?
Well, I think that's totally fair. I mean, and I think, you know, unless you can prove that the president actually knew that it was a campaign finance violation, you're not going to be able to prove that he committed a criminal offense. You know, ask, you know, anybody with regard to campaign finance violations.
Well, John Edwards, haven't we been down this among the Democrats? Haven't we been down this road before similarly? And I'll give you a last quick thought on that.
No, I mean, I think that's exactly right, how difficult it is to prove. So, look, I think that, you know, all of the news of, like, you know, the prosecutors are closing in on President Trump with regard to this campaign finance violation. First of all, I think the president's right. It's technical. I don't think it is provably criminal as far as the president is concerned. And in any event, seriously, are you going to take on an impeachment proceeding with regard to the president of the United States over a campaign finance violation? I don't think so.
But if Sater is to be believed, within a month to 2 months, we're really going to start seeing some bombshells come out of this report that tie criminal activity directly to Donald Trump.
What are you waiting for, huh?